philosophers in this world. So we will present about the introduction, background, contributions, hope and quotes of Imam Al-Ghazali. So each of us will talk about the introduction, background and books and quotes of Imam Al-Ghazali. So they will continue.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Farah Husna binti Ahizat. Today we are going to share about Muhammad ibni Ahmad At-Tusi, which is known as Abu Hamid Al-Ghazali or Imam Al-Ghazali. Imam Al-Ghazali was born in 1059 century near the Tus in Khorasan, which is a part of Persian. He is also known as Hujjatul Islam, which is honorific title that means authority on Islam or proof of Islam. Imam Al-Ghazali had mentioned in his book Al-Munkuddin Al-Dalal that he had spent 8 years on the search of truth from place to place and studied in different schools of thought of that time. He was offered to the post of head of Nizamiya school in Baghdad. Lastly, Imam Al-Ghazali's skepticism continues from another 10 years in which wandered in many places including Mecca and Syria. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Shafiq Al-Fi'i bin Syamsul Bahri. So today I would like to share you about the background of the Imam Al-Ghazali. Al-Ghazali was born in 1458 or between March 1058 to February 1059 CE with the original in the name of Abu Hamid ibni Muhammad Al-Ghazali. To many Westerners, he is known as Al-Ghazal. Al-Ghazali was a Muslim theologian, jurist, philosopher, and a mystic descendant from the Persians. He was born in the town of Tabaran in the district of Tus, which is now situated in modern-day Iran. Most Ottoman traditions begin that Al-Ghazali's father had passed away in stark poverty, leaving both Al-Ghazali and his younger brother, which is named Ahmad. In the care of a Sufi, Al-Ghazali had begun to receive instruction in Islamic jurisprudence from a local teacher by the name of Ahmad al-Ramadani. He later on went to study the subject of juris and theology from Al-Juwayni in Nishapur. After the death of Al-Juwayni, Al-Ghazali left Nishapur and joined the court of Nizam al-Mulk, who was the vizier of Seljuk Sultan in Isfahan in year of 1085. Al-Ghazali was then bestowed the title of brilliance of the religions and eminence among the religious of leaders. By 1059, Nizam al-Mulk promoted Ghazali to the professorship in Nizamiya Madrasa in Baghdad. Al-Ghazali went through a spiritual crisis in 1055, abandoning his career in Baghdad and heading for a pilgrimage to Mecca. He spent some time in Damascus and Jerusalem, with a visit to Mecca and Medina in 1096. In 1096, Al-Ghazali returned to Tus, spending the next several years in seclusion which consists of abstaining from state-sponsored teachings. However, Al-Ghazali continued to publish works, receive visitors and taught in private madrasas and Sufi monasteries which he had built. The Grand Vizier to Ahmad Sanjar, Fard al-Mulk, insisted Ghazali to return to Nizamiya in Nishapur. However, Ghazali gave up in 1106 to the request. During Al-Ghazali's life, he wrote more than 70 books on science, Islamic philosophy, and Sufism. Al-Ghazali published his book The Incoherence of Philosophers This is marked as the turning point in Islamic epistemology. The encounter he had with skepticism led Al-Ghazali to form a belief that all events and interactions are not the product of material conjunctions, but instead are the present and immediate will of God. Another of Al-Ghazali's most renowned work is Ihya Ulum al-Din, or the revival of religious sciences. The work covers almost all fields of Islamic science. They include Islamic jurisprudence, theology, and Sufism. The book has received many positive criticisms. Al-Ghazali then wrote an abridged version of the revival of religious science in Persian under the title Kimia-i Sa'adat, also known as The Alchemy of Happiness. Even though Al-Ghazali has mentioned that he has wrote more than 70 books, presently there are more than 400 books that are attributed to him. Al-Ghazali had significant influence on both Muslim and Christian medieval philosophers. One of the most influential was Saint Thomas Aquinas. Al-Ghazali also played a major role in amalgamating Sufism and Sharia. He was the first to combine the concept of Sufism into Sharia laws and the first to give a formal description of Sufism in his works. The works of Al-Ghazali strengthened the stance of Sunni Islam compared to other schools of thought. Al-Ghazali returned to Tus in 1110 and declined the invitations of the Grand Vizier of Muhammad I to return to Baghdad. According to most historians, Al-Ghazali he passed away in the year 1111 on the 18th of December. That's all for the background of Imam Al-Ghazali. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Ashka Nabila binti Abdul Manaf. Today I would like to talk about the contribution of Imam Al-Ghazali. Imam Al-Ghazali has many contributions in Islamic context. Al-Ghazali has a significant influence on both Muslim and Christian medieval philosophers. One of the most influenced was Saint Thomas Aquinas. Imam Al-Ghazali also played a major role in amalgamating Sufism and Sharia. He was the first to combine the concept of Sufism into Sharia law and the first to give a formal description of Sufism in his work. Imam Al-Ghazali also strengthened the stance of Sunni Islam compared to other schools of thought. Imam Al-Ghazali also approached mathematics and exact science as essentially correct. He claims the approach of Sufism of its essence and re-established the authority of the Orthodox or Sunni religion. He stressed the importance of Sunni Sufism, which he maintained was the path to attain the absolute truth. One of the greatest theologians of Islam, and his influence penetrated Europe, influenced Jewish and Christian scholasticism, and several of his arguments seem to have been adopted by Thomas Aquinas in order to similarly re-establish the authority of Orthodox Christian religion in the West.
Hi, my name is Danish Mikael bin Muhammad Zaidi. Now I'm going to elaborate to all of you what are the achievements that have been made by our philosopher Imam Al-Ghazali. Did you know Imam Al-Ghazali has been regarded as a mujaddid, which means the reviver or the Islamic reformer. Plus, he has been credited with a various title. The most famous title is the Hujjat al-Islam, the proof of Islam. Another achievement is when he became the public Sufi. Firstly, he was a Jewish and ideologian, but radically transformed to become the personal Sufi during the secularization period. And he was one of the most important Islamic thinkers at this time. The most achievement that he ever made is the three of his work: Ihya Ulum al-Din, Tahfuz al-Falasifa, Al-Munaqid min al-Alal, and three of his work are widely read, circulate among the scholars today. That is all for today. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Amin Shahid, and today I'm going to present about Imam Al-Ghazali books and quotes. Okay, Al-Ghazali has mentioned that he has wrote more than 70 books, but recently there are more than 400 books that attribute to him. Okay, I will mention 3 books of famous book of Imam Ghazali. First, Ihya Ulum Al-Din or Ihya Ulumuddin. It's cover almost all field of Islam, science, kalam and Sufism. Second, disciplining the soul. One of the key section of Ghazali revival of religion science is disciplining the soul, which focus on internal struggle that every Muslim will face over the course of lifetime. The third one, the achievement of happiness. Kimli Suadat rewrite version of revival of religion science after the existence crisis that caused him to completely redesign his way of living. His approach in religion. Al-Ghazali put through the achievement of happiness reset his fundamental belief that connection to God was an intelligent part of the joy of life. Okay, the quotes of Imam Ghazali. You are ready to cut off your head and place your foot on it. If you come, love await you. Love is not grown in garden, nor sold in the marketplace. Whether you are king or servant, the price is your head, not and nothing less. Yes, the cause of the rise of love in your head. Do you exist? Messiah that is cheap at the price. Next, do not allow your heart to take pleasure with price of people. No be sadness but condemnation. Okay, that's all. Thank you.